Hello and welcome to another segment of Interviews That Matter. I am your host Raj Mehta. Friends, in this segment we bring those guests who influence our lives. This includes elected officials, policymakers, heads of major organizations and other dignitaries. It is my sincere hope that the knowledge brought in by these guests will help our community. Today we have such guest. His name is Peter Zuckerman. He is the councilman for the Town of North Hempstead from District 2. He is running for election this year on November 3rd. Let's meet Peter. Mr. Zuckerman, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate your time this morning. As I know that you're a councilman representing 2nd District in Town of North Hempstead.
Yes, sir.
So normally what we do is we go about your background first in our interviews, and so we would like to hear from you. I know you're an attorney, but let's hear from you.
Sure, no problem. Well, thank you very much for having me here today. I certainly appreciate that, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's true, I am an attorney, but I'll give you some of my background. I graduated from Emory University undergrad with a Bachelor of Arts. I attended New York Law School and obtained the Juris Doctor. I'm also admitted to practice law in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Washington, D.C. I also have the Series 63 and the Series 7 securities licenses as well. I was a trustee for the Incorporated Village of East Hills for approximately 11 years. And then about 19 months ago, I became councilman for the Town of North Hempstead via an appointment from Supervisor Judy Bosworth. And then I ran last November in a special election for councilman of the 2nd District, and I won that election. And now, the way the rules work, you have to run again. So this November, November 3rd, I'll be running for the full term, which is a 4-year term.
4-year term?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, all the best to you.
Thank you.
Yep. So let me ask you one thing that, before I go into a little bit different, but you said Series 63 and 7?
Those are securities licenses.
Security licenses?
Yeah. When I graduated law school, one of the places that I worked was for Prudential Securities.
Okay.
And in the course of working for Prudential Securities to do securities type legal work, they wanted their attorneys to learn background with respect to the securities industry. So I have some background in that. And over the years, as an attorney, I've handled securities related matters. You have been involved in community service for a long time. Oh yes, absolutely. Besides being a trustee for the Village of East Hills, I'm also on the board of directors of the Roslyn Little League and the Roslyn Booster Basketball. Going back to when I was in college, I was an official at the Special Olympics in Georgia, where Emory University was. And I'm very involved in the community. And I've coached in many sports over the years for my children, but I'm very involved in the community.
Who was your mentor? How did you, you are like that always, or you had somebody
That's a great question. My mentor is Michael Koblentz. Michael Koblentz is the longtime mayor of the Incorporated Village of East Hills. And he is a wonderful public servant, a wonderful man, a wonderful attorney, and he's a terrific example of what's good and how hard work can really make a difference in the community. And Mayor Koblentz is my mentor, and it's it's a pleasure to have worked with him and to be his friend. And to going forward, I try to do things in the course of what Mayor Koblentz would do.
Is he still a mayor?
He's still the mayor of the Incorporated Village of East Hills.
Okay, so he's the one who inspired you?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you learned a lot from him, I guess.
I learned so much from him. One of the big projects that we were involved with is we built the park at East Hills. The park at East Hills is a pool park complex that we built. There was a parcel of land that we, the Village of East Hills, purchased from the government. It used to be an Air National Guard base, and we built this beautiful pool park facility, which has become the centerpiece of this incorporated village. And it was a tremendous project and tremendous experience, and it was a wonderful home run for the community.
Very good, very good. I think I've seen that park, and it's a great thing. Now, I have
Thank
people,
you.
friends live in these hills also. So
Thank you.
yeah, so it's a very good achievement, and good for community actually. It's a good use
You know,
of the land.
It really is. I mean, you know, when we were talking about acquiring it and building it, there were many uses that were being bandied about for it, and certainly this was the most friendly for the community, and it really has turned into something that's been amazing. If you know, people can go there, they can be with members of the community in a social way, enjoy the pool, enjoy the park, there's tennis courts, there's basketball courts, there's a walking trail, there's a dog run, it's an Olympic-sized pool, there's a there's a children's area in the pool, as well as an adult area, as well as lanes, as well as slides. So it's a very all-encompassing project.
So it's like, you know, it's really quality of life.
Absolutely.
Obviously, right?
Absolutely. It certainly adds to the quality of life.
Yeah.
On a typical weekend in the summer, a good portion of the community is there.
Right.
Whether they're at the pool or the tennis courts or what have you, they're there experiencing the beauty of the neighborhood. And, you know, it's something that we could all be proud of.
Right, yeah. So in 2014, right, you were appointed as it's kind of a promotion.
Yes.
Did you count it as a promotion?
You know what? I tell you something. It was my pleasure to serve as a trustee for the Incorporated Village of East Hills, and it's something that I would have been happy doing forever. It was a terrific experience. However, when Supervisor Bosworth asked me to come along in this capacity, I mean, how could I say no? Supervisor Bosworth is tremendous, and if someone asks you to join her team, to join her administration, I don't know how you could say no. She is wonderful, and you know what? I am very lucky to be part of her team today.
You know, I agree with you. I know Supervisor Bosworth long time. She's when she was a legislator also before her, and she also came on the show. She's an amazing person. She's a very hard worker, and she is. I mean, she is absolutely jewel for the town of North Hempstead. So I wholeheartedly agree with you. You know, and it's good to be in her team. So obviously, it's great.
It's really a pleasure. I mean, she is just terrific, and the town is moving in such a wonderful direction as a result of Supervisor Bosworth and the entire team. So I could not be more pleased.
Actually, you know, I mean, see, it's like that. I've seen, I mean, I meet a lot of people, you know, myself also, and there are people, you know, who are in public service. They are really public servant, or they are really, and there are people who are public servants.
Sure.
Supervisor Bosworth is really a public servant.
You know, she's very special because she's the kind of person that if Judy tells you that she's going to do something, she's going to do it.
Exactly.
She wants to help people.
And
that's what our administration is all about. We want to help people. And a supervisor sets the tone, and it's certainly terrific to be part of that.
I agree. I mean, you know, John came in also, prior supervisor. He also was on the show, and I think, you know, I mean, the way I see it is there's a difference in the way that, you know, administration wise, but that's only for good anyway.
You know, I think all people are different, and I think they're both wonderful people and wonderful people who like to help the community and have the interest of the public at heart. And I think Town of North Hempstead was very lucky to have Supervisor John Kamen because he did a tremendous job. And now to have Supervisor Bosworth, you know, we're just also fortunate.
So since you became the councilman, you know, your first day as a councilman, did you attend the meetings before, I believe?
Yes, you know, I had attended a lot of, not all the meetings, but I attended a lot of the meetings because, you know, there were many, over the years, there's been many issues with the Incorporated Village of East Hills and the Town of North Hempstead. So I was frequently at the meetings. And, you know, it was interesting, you know, to be on one side of the meeting and now you're on the other side of the meeting. And, but, you know, it's especially, it's really a good experience. And one of the things that this administration has done that I'm quite proud of is that the meetings are live streamed. So if you say the weather is not great and you can't get out, or for some reason you're unable to attend the meeting, you can watch the meeting on your tablet or computer, so you can really, you can really participate in it. And I think it's a very important thing. One of the other things that this administration has done, which is very important, is, if you come to the meetings and you have a question about something that's not on the agenda, just a question about something else related to your property or relating to the town, just a general question. It used to be that you could not pose those questions till the end of the meeting because of the procedure of just the way it had been said. Well, now this administration has changed that. So if you came to the meeting about a question about something with your house or your neighbor's house or about a road, and again, it's not something that's on the agenda, just something different. That's the beginning part of the meeting, because we're trying to encourage members of the community to participate. And you know what, if someone has something to say or a question, and lots of times it's, people have a question, we want to hear the question so we can answer it and so we can help. So really this is going to that.
So let me ask you this now, when you were in the council approximately 2 years, less than 2 years, right? So what do you think of being on the other side of the table, number one? Second thing is, what are the accomplishments that you thought that is great, for the people?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, it's really interesting when you're on different sides. When I was a trustee in East Hills, I was on one side, and members of the public were another. The difference here is that in East Hills I represented a smaller group of people. Now I'm representing a bigger group, and so it's nice. What I like about it, and what I especially appreciate, is I'm able to help a larger group of people now. Before, my jurisdiction was limited to just people in the village of East Hills. Now I can help people in my district. Now I have an interesting district. My district is East Hills, Roslyn Heights, Roslyn Harbor, Greenvale, Glenwood Landing, Manhasset Hills, Herricks, East Williston, and a little sliver of New Hyde Park. So I have a very, it's a big district, very big district.
It's a big district, right? Yeah, second district, right?
Yes, the second district.
Right, yeah. So obviously, there are so many people from Southeast Asia live there in your district, and we'll definitely want to hear from you that, I know that you're very integrated with our community.
Yes, I have to tell you, I believe it's very important to interact with all members of the community and all people from my district, as well as the town of North Hempstead. And I'm very involved with Milan, a organization. It's a seniors organization run by Kieran Panchamania, and it's a wonderful organization. This organization, they get together and they have functions for Indian seniors, and it's truly a wonderful program. They have different entertainment, whether it's lectures or speaking engagements, whether it's entertainment, dancing or singing. They have wonderful programs. They go to many places, and this organization does a tremendous service to the community, because this not only does it provide entertainment and to the members, it also provides a way of keeping everyone interested and focused, and it really brings the people out of the community. And it's something that I have to tell you, I'm proud to be part of it, because I think it's a wonderful organization, and they do a terrific job.
Again, the credit goes to Supervisor Kamen for that, because he's the one who kind of pioneered that program, and he's the one who encouraged to start that program.
Absolutely. And Supervisor Kamen really deserves a ton of credit, because this administration has to, it's all about building blocks. And this administration is lucky, because we're using his administration as a building block, and we're just adding on to what his administration did, and his administration did so many wonderful things. So it allows us to start at a great point, and we're so fortunate to have him. And we're so fortunate to have a wonderful supervisor today. Supervisor Bosworth has really accomplished so much in such a short term, and we're so proud.
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Interviews That Matter. I'm your host Raj Mehta. We are having a conversation with Councilman Zuckerman. Councilman, welcome, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
So now we were talking about the earlier that supervisor prior administration had created some blocks, and you're enhancing, the current supervisor is enhancing that blocks. Now I want to know what is the different thing that the Supervisor Bosworth is doing. Like, I know that she has a, one thing you already mentioned, that the meeting, that anybody can complain.
Yes.
That was very wonderful, by the way.
Yes, having questions and answers, or questions and statements prior to the meeting is really something tremendous, because you know what happens? You have someone who can't get to the meeting, or the weather is inclement, or they just are not unable to participate. We don't want them to be shut out. And this enables them to come to the, be at the meeting. And, the live stream in this day and age with technology, the live streaming of these meetings really seems like a natural fit. And really Supervisor Bosworth and her entire team deserve the credit, because she's really been the moving factor behind that. And I think it's tremendous, because so many people come up to me and say, oh, it was raining, or it snowed that day, or I couldn't go that the evening because I had to do something, but yet I was able to see you on the computer, and it's very important.
What else?
Okay, well, some of the other things that that this administration has done is, and we're always trying to improve. And the building department is something that we're constantly trying to improve. And it's something, it's not something that happens overnight, and it's something that we're moving in the right. We have a new building commissioner, John Newender, and he's wonderful. And we have some new inspectors, and we're trying to, again, move forward in a proper direction. In addition to that, we have someone called, her name is Lauren Suma. She's the public advocate, and she's someone who basically helps members of the public with respect to the building department, the filing of paperwork, explaining things. It's basically an intermediary to help the members of the public when they're applying for various things relating to the building department. Because I think over the years, just in general, there's a lot of, in all municipalities, there's a lot of confusion in the building departments, what you can do, what you can't do. So we want to try to make it more user-friendly. In fact, we also do mobile business hours for the building department. So the mobile unit actually goes to a place in the community, and people could come out to that mobile unit. So if someone couldn't get to the building department during the day, because say they work in Manhattan, but yet they're able to come at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we have the mobile building hours, mobile building unit at the Shelter Rock Library or some location where people come out. So this is one of the things we're working on. But again, we want to make everything more user-friendly. That's the same thing with the live streaming of the meetings. We would like the building department to follow suit.
Yeah, I think building department is the most critical thing for all the residents, right? Because anything you do with your house, you need building department.
It absolutely is, and I think one of the biggest issues with all building departments, whether it's back when I was at East Hills or at here at the Town of North Hempstead, I think it's just getting everyone on the same page. There's so many rules and regulations that everyone must follow, and I think sometimes people misunderstand or don't understand what has to be done, and we want to make it more user-friendly. We want to help people navigate through those choppy waters to make the process easier, because that's what our goal is, to help. And in order to do that, we do it by the mobile billing hours, the public advocate, or just in general trying to ask questions, make everything more user-friendly, put things online so that people are able to navigate through this in a swifter manner.
So let me ask you this: if someone has a question about or a issue rather, forget it, issue with their house or something, the first stop for them is what?
Okay, well, first of all, if they have an issue concerning, you talk about the building department, the first thing that I would tell them is I would call 311. Okay, and they could ask for if it was someone in my district, they could certainly ask for my office, and we could connect them to the proper party. Or if they wanted to reach out to someone who was part of the building department or an advocate, they can reach out to her. Name is Lauren Suma, and her job is to basically help people navigate through the process. But either one, call 311 and inquire. 311, again, it goes back to John Kamen's 311.
Right.
If they can reach us by 311, then we
Right.
can connect the dots and get them to the right place. Again, we want to make it more user-friendly. That's the idea. And listen, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process,
Right.
and we're moving in the right direction, and we'll continue to move it in the right direction.
So first they have to find out what district they live in and who is the councilman for that
Correct.
district, and
Correct.
then contact councilman or the public advocate.
Yes.
Either or.
Either or.
Either or, and then kind of.
Yes, and then depending upon the nature of the problem or
Yeah.
the nature of the issue,
Okay.
we can then help them. I think it's case specific. You know,
Right.
if you're talking about a
Right.
property where someone's building a house or just doing a renovation or,
Right.
you know, whatever it is, I think it's case specific. But if they know what district they're in and what council person,
Right.
either one is fine. But if they call 311, and even if they have
Okay,
they're not
so, right,
sure,
I
we
understand.
can our folks at 311 can direct them to the right place.
Now your district, you got so many different communities in your district, like you know, South Asian, on top of South Asian, you have
Yes.
Chinese, and so many different communities. So how do you know, kind of reach out to everybody?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I wanted to do when I became a councilman
Right.
is that I wanted to really
Right.
go to all areas of my district, all different groups, and I've really tried to reach out to as many groups and all groups as I can.
Right.
You know, when I was in East Hills, I was focused on one particular
Right.
group, but now I meet with all different groups, and I think it's really important, and it's a learning experience too, because what happens is in this position, you want to help people,
Right.
but you don't know necessarily how to help certain people
Right.
and certain issues they might have unless you talk to people. And everyone is different. So it's really great to meet the different groups and find out. Now, one of the projects that I'm very happy with, and it's something that our administration has built on, and this was from John Kamen's administration, and we built on it, is Project Independence. Project Independence is so wonderful, as you know.
We did the website.
Yes, you deserve a lot of credit. It's a wonderful website. And it's Project Independence. That's a wonderful program. This is a program for seniors. Okay,
Right.
so seniors, it's events for seniors. It's transportation for seniors to the grocery store or to a physician. You know, when I think about my grandparents when they were towards the end of their lives, I think that their lives would have been enhanced. I think that if they were, I don't want to say that they were shut-ins, but they didn't go out of the house very much. I think if they had been involved, my grandfather specifically, I think if he had been involved in a project like Project Independence, and he had come to North Hempstead Beach Park on a Monday to enjoy the beach air, or to you know, instead of having to worry about transportation to get to the doctor or to the supermarket or something like that, I think these would have been things that I know would have helped him. And this is why it's something that I'm so much in favor of. And we continue to try to expand this program under Supervisor Bosworth's administration. Again, this is one of the building blocks,
Right.
and we're so lucky in our administration
Right.
because Supervisor Bosworth's administration has really, you know, taken this project and ran with it. And
Right.
John came and deserves so much credit for really beginning it,
Right.
and we're really trying to enhance this program.
Let's talk about the election.
Yes.
Election is in next month, November. Not
No-
next month, November.
November 3rd.
November 3rd. And how is the campaign going?
You know, so far so good. I have to tell you, you know, it's the second year in a row, and I knew going in, that it
said,
could be, yeah,
after
woo.
this.
But you know what? It's great. You know what? I'm not doing anything any different than what I would normally do. I'm
Right,
doing
right.
my job. I'm helping the people, helping the
Right.
public,
Right.
and just taking it one day at a time. I think, you know, in order to do a good job in this, you really have to focus on the job at hand.
Right.
And I believe everything with the election will really, you know, take care of itself. And I'm just doing my job and helping people in the community. And I feel like the election will turn out well. But you know what? Again, I'm just focused on my job and letting that take care of itself.
No, I think it's track record, right? I mean, your track record speaks for itself, and that's all it is matters really.
Right, you know, exactly. My background, my track
Yeah,
record,
yeah.
it's something that I feel it stands by itself, and I think that's something that you know, that it's reliable. My track record, my experience, and you know, I rely on that, and I take all of my experience and my education in everything I do. You know, you can't wake up one day and just say, hey, I want to be a councilman.
Right.
You need to have experience. You need to have the education because you're dealing with the health, safety, and welfare of members of the public. For someone to undertake this position and not have the requisite experience or education is not appropriate. It's just not appropriate. I mean, you're making decisions that affect so many areas of the community and so many people. You need someone in this position, regardless of who it is, who has the experience and the background to do it. And if you have someone in that position, you would be jeopardizing the safety and welfare of the members of the public, and that's not something that is you know, something that that anybody would want.
Right, yeah. Well, we want to wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And,
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming again.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here today. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me at rajmitv@gmail.com. That's again rajmitv@gmail.com. You can watch our prior shows on YouTube at youtube.com/Infosys International. Again, that's youtube.com/Infosys International. Until next time, have a great week.
Thank you so much.